The robbers made preparations for the sacrifice. When everything was ready, their leader came to the Samanera, who was then seated, with his mind fixed on jhana concentration. The leader of the robbers lifted his sword and struck hard at the young Samanera, but the blade of the sword curled up without cutting the flesh. He straightened up the blade and struck again. This time, it bent upwards right up to the hilt without harming the Samanera. Seeing this strange happening, the leader of the robbers dropped his sword, knelt at the feet of the Samanera and asked his pardon. All the 500 robbers were amazed and terror-stricken. They repented and asked permission from Samkicca to become bhikkhus. He complied with their request. The young Samanera, accompanied by 500 new bhikkhus, returned to the village monastery, and the 30 bhikkhus felt very much relieved and happy on seeing him. Then Samkicca and the 500 bhikkhus continued on their way to pay respect to Therasariputta, his teacher, at the Jetavana monastery. After seeing Therasariputta, they went to pay homage to the Buddha. When told what had happened, the Buddha said, "Bhikkhus, if you rob or steal and commit all sorts of evil deeds, your life would be useless, even if you were to live 100 years. Living a virtuous life even for a single day is much better than 100 years of a life of depravity." Then the Buddha spoke in verse as follows. Better than 100 years in the life of an immoral person who has no control over his senses, is a day in the life of a virtuous person who cultivates tranquility and insight development practice.